Hey, this is Luke with another Android Guys podcast. I'm here with Scott.
Hey, this is Scott with another co-host with Luke.
How are you?
I'm awesome.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm more awesome than you are.
Ooh, all right, fine. I'll let it happen.
What are you gonna do about it, though?
Nothing. Okay. Nothing. I can tell you're sweet because you've been playing with cool gaming peripherals.
Well, I'm trying.
Yeah?
I'm trying to be sweet.
You got a chance to check out two gaming things, and are you like elite now?
No, I'm not elite. I'm still a noob.
Are you drinking like
G Fuel
or Ghost energy drink?
C4 and Bang and no, I'm not a gamer.
You should take your sunglasses off.
Oh, can you hear me over this studded necklace? These hear me over my frosted tips. I went all in on what I thought a gamer was. Apparently, I'm just somebody from 1999.
Like, hey, I got this keyboard. Can you frost my tips?
Like, sure, but I don't get it. I don't know if you can see under this desk. I'll stand up. I've got some Jinko jeans on.
Is that? I thought I felt the wind move when you walked through here.
Oh, man, what an era.
Well, that was our flashback to the 90s.
Yeah.
Tell us about these gaming peripherals you were checking out.
Okay, so I am not a gamer, a PC gamer.
Sure.
I'm a casual gamer on phones.
Mm-hmm.
I will play some games on PlayStation from time to time.
Sure.
Switch. I like board games.
Right.
You know, I like games.
Yeah.
But I can also appreciate when people have a custom built computer.
Yeah.
That's specifically designed for gaming.
Mm-hmm.
High refresh rate, super responsive hardware.
Yeah.
Mechanical keyboards,
Mm-hmm.
Peripherals, mice, things like that. I know that that is a whole world.
Sure.
And I've played with tested a few mechanical keyboards over the years.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen some gaming headphones and tested those, mice, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
They're one of those things that for me are kind of lost on, like, truly appreciating.
Okay.
You could give me something that's $50 and one that's $150. I might be able to suss out a few of the differences.
Sure.
But it would be one of those things where if you bought one for me for my birthday,
Mm-hmm.
I would feel bad if you spent the extra $100.
Okay.
But that said, I'm able to sniff out build quality.
Absolutely.
And, how many features are built into things, batteries.
Yeah.
That.
I mean, because, regardless of whether or not you're a quote unquote true gamer or something like that.
Yeah.
A lot of that stuff translates and, you've been reviewing products and you know what build quality looks like. You know what ease of use looks like. And especially because you're not somebody maybe as tuned into this world as other people, you have a different perspective.
Sure.
On what those uses might be.
And that's where I think at least these two particular products that I'm going to talk about, the brand is called Redragon.
Okay.
But it's all one word.
Yes.
So it almost looks like Redragon.
Mm-hmm.
But I had a chance to check out two of its products. One is a gaming mouse, and one of them is a gaming mechanical keyboard.
Okay.
I would say that these are entry level.
Okay.
Or something that's designed to kind of get you into the world of gaming.
Okay.
Because I know, and I've seen keyboards and tested things that are much higher priced and seem to be much deeper in features when you start to compare them.
Okay.
And I know that when you look at, what kind of switch do you like? Do you want one that is like a low profile?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want one that's super tactile? Do you want, I know there's a difference between the blue and the brown and the red switches.
Right. Do you want it to sound, do you want it to be loud or quiet or all these kind of things? Sure.
So I don't know. I have no experience with this brand.
Mm-hmm.
And I was curious when I saw these products, like, what am I, looking at?
Sure.
So looking at their website, they've got a ton of products.
Yeah.
And this is just a brand that I've never heard of.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's a case of they're just now trying to crack the U.S. market.
Okay.
They reached out to us and said, hey, would you be interested in checking a few things out?
Sure.
So I'll talk about these things in a manner that is kind of qualified, in that I might be a little bit out of my depth, so I won't dive into too many deep details on these things.
Okay.
But I will say this. I like these products for their price, and I think for their intended usage.
Okay.
So I would say that both of these are designed for somebody who may be interested in getting into gaming.
Okay.
Somebody who wants something that looks cool
Mm-hmm.
and has some customization
Mm-hmm.
without dropping tons of money.
Sure.
It's kind of like looking at, maybe I'm thinking like Turtle Beach headphones, when there are also SteelSeries and Master and Dynamic in the same space.
Sure.
That you can pay for some other things,
Right.
and definitely say, I think this is worth the money.
Right.
So the gaming mouse that I checked out is called the M910K.
Okay.
And if you're looking at Redragon's website, some of these products, they have names to them.
Mm.
Some of them have like just like the code name, or it'll say the name. I think that this one has one on the box. It might have a different name. So this one here is a wired mouse.
Yep.
It's got RGB lights. There are 9 of them.
Okay.
And then there are 9 buttons that you can program.
Mm.
So you've got your left and right, and along the left side where your thumb goes, you've got some other buttons that you can adjust. If you're looking to do non-gaming functions, it would be like your forward and back, or if you want to go in and adjust for certain functions within a game.
Sure.
And then down the center, you've got your scrolling wheel that actually will also click.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've got 3 buttons on the spine.
Okay.
A couple of those are more for your lights.
Mm-hmm.
So you can change the mode. You can change the colors. You can also change how you want the lights to operate. So do you like do you want your mouse to kind of breathe
Mm-hmm.
and kind of pulse a little bit? Or do you want it to kind of like twinkle? Do you want it to have just like a constant color?
Sure.
So there's different things that you can do. If you're trying to set a vibe while you're playing a game,
Right.
Everything in your room is already like purple.
Yeah.
You can definitely do that. There are 9 modes that you can change.
Mm-hmm.
This will work with Windows and Mac
Okay.
OS. Now, there are some customization features that you can do. There's some drivers you can install to go in and change like the functions.
Yeah.
And do like macros or shortcut keys.
Yeah.
It's only going to work with Windows-based computers.
Okay.
So the drivers are only for Windows, but it goes all the way back to like Windows Millennium.
Oh,
Windows
wow.
2000. So,
Okay.
it feels nice. It doesn't feel heavy or substantial.
Sure.
I don't want to say it feels cheap, because I mean, it seems to respond well.
Mhm.
I didn't put it through any like real rigorous paces.
Sure.
I plug it in, play around with the drivers a little bit, just kind of see what it does.
Mm-hmm.
This thing is only like $22, maybe.
Yeah.
Like $20.99.
Yeah.
So it's, if anything, if you've got a kid who says, hey, I want to start a YouTube channel
Mm-hmm.
or Twitch, or I want to get into gaming, you don't want to spend a bunch of money, this might be a good way to kind of,
I want a mouse with RGB.
yeah, I want something that lights up. I want to, now you can also adjust the DPI,
Yeah.
which I'm not entirely familiar with how that works, but this will go up to 8,000.
Okay.
So I think.
So the higher your DPI is, just the more sensitive your mouse is.
Mhm.
The less you have to move your hand, the
Right.
faster it travels.
That's what I figured it was
Sure.
a case of kind of like, if like a first person shooter,
Mhm.
how sensitive do I want it to be
Right. when
I'm kind of panning,
right.
Back and forth looking for somebody.
Exactly.
I would say that, this is, I can't speak to the brand's reputation.
Sure.
I can't speak to the the longevity of it, but it doesn't feel like a cheap mouse. It feels,
Sure.
at $21, I was surprised.
Yeah.
But I was also kind of like, yeah, well, this makes sense,
Yeah, in general, for something that is branded gaming, if you look nowadays at most things, $20 is definitely on the low end.
Right.
And, you expect a certain amount of things when you are at that price point. And it sounds like this meets and exceeds that.
Yeah, it delivered on my expectations for that price.
Sure.
That's one of the first things that you kind of see when you get a product review. You look it up on the website, and it's often right there, like shop now or buy now. You go to Amazon to see, what the price is.
Yep.
And, there are much more elaborate mice. You can get into ones that have like numbers on the side of them. You can find things that have different shapes to the contour, or buttons and toggles and all kinds of different things.
Right.
But looking at their portfolio just kind of quickly, they seem to play in that sandbox of affordable. I couldn't tell you the main differences between some of the models other than bullet points, but it seems like that's their niche. That's who they go after.
Okay.
So I would say if you are interested in getting into gaming, or you want something that's a little bit cooler looking, something, that says, my son is, we want to build a computer, and we want to do, don't want to spend a bunch of money, or it's his first one, or whatever that is. I think that the Redragon mouse is a good option for that.
Yeah.
Similarly, the keyboard is the K615. I know this one says Elise on the box.
Okay.
So that's I think the code or the name of that one. This one similarly is a gaming keyboard. This one is about a 60% profile when you compare that to another keyboard.
Okay.
You don't have the number pad on the side.
Right.
I mean, you're not
more compact. Your arrow keys are integrated into kind of the form factor of the QWERTY style.
Yeah, this isn't something you're going to use for spreadsheets where you're using that right hand. You're going to set up for gaming. Very, very portable. It doesn't come with a pouch or anything, which kind of surprised me. Like maybe just a generic sleeve even, or something to put in there. They kind of tout it as being portable.
Yeah.
Gaming computer stuff, though, I can see why they maybe don't throw something in, because to me, when you plug it in, you plug it in.
Right.
You don't take your gaming mouse with you.
Right.
Unless you're using like a laptop or something.
Sure.
And you want to kind of expand that. I get that. But it's a handy, small little thing you can hold with one hand.
Yeah.
Almost kind of grip that thing, depending on how big your hand is. This one has 18 modes.
Oh, wow.
For the lighting. And then it has blue switches.
Yeah.
For those who are curious as to what kind of switches it comes with. And these are low profile, so they don't have to travel very far.
Nice.
This whole thing feels very compact.
Okay.
It doesn't feel like it's a small keyboard with big buttons or buttons that have to travel. It's quiet-ish, and I think if you are into gaming and you do know the difference between those, you have an understanding as to what a blue switch sounds like.
Sure.
It comes with USB-C to A cord with it. And I think it's a braided cable, if I remember correctly, which is nice. So it's not going to tangle. It should take a little bit of wear. So if you have a desk that, maybe the keyboard tray slides in and out, and you're worried about pinching the cable or something, this one has a 2-year warranty.
Oh, nice.
I don't know what the warranty was on the other one. I'm assuming it's a 1 year.
Okay.
But I also would feel like maybe Redragon is consistent with its products.
Sure.
Maybe it's 2-year, but I know for sure that the keyboard has a 2-year.
Okay.
This guy runs, let me double check, $35.
That's not bad at all.
Not bad at all for what it has.
Right.
And that's not trying to say this $35 keyboard, throw out that $200 one that you've been using.
No, sure.
That's not what I'm trying to say here. I would say I don't know anything about gaming keyboards, but I hear a blue switch is what I want for my needs.
Mm-hmm.
This is a very affordable way of getting into that.
Right. For $35, you're not throwing away $35.
Right.
Sure.
And if you're worried about build quality, there's a 2-year warranty behind that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's pretty cool. The different modes, if depending on what kind of setting you have it.
Sure.
I think, to me, I think gaming keyboards just look pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Generally with all the LED stuff going on with them.
Yep.
Some that just kind of breathe, some that will dance based off of hitting each key.
Sure.
Some of them that just kind of have like a pulse to them.
Uh-huh.
All that stuff is very cool to me.
Yeah.
And I think that I'm sure there are other people out there like me.
Well, I know plenty of people that use a gaming keyboard for office work just because, in a traditional office setting in cubicles and stuff, the idea, because most mechanical keyboards, a little more tactile sound, a little bit more noticeable. Those aren't generally wanted. Yeah. But some people do like the sound of a mechanical keyboard versus, a traditional soft touch keyboard.
And there is a big, there's a wide space between some of these ultra low profile Bluetooth keyboards that you barely know if you're pressing.
Sure.
And then on the other side of it is the keyboard that sounds like a typewriter.
Right.
And finding that kind of I like that bounce back response clickiness from these types of keys.
Right.
So if you're looking for something that's in the blue switch, if that's more of your speed, I would say give these a shot.
Sure.
I'm not reluctant to recommend this brand, but I'm also not overly familiar with them.
Sure.
So if you have feedback, or if you're listening and you've had some time with this brand, I'd be happy to hear what you have to say about it.
Absolutely.
Good or bad. And again, if you go to Amazon, you'll find a whole bunch of products, but then also the Redragon website, there's a ton of things, and they all seem to kind of cater to that affordability.
Yeah.
With a fair amount of features to go with that.
Okay.
So, yep, that's the Elise. Get the model number one more time. K615
Awesome.
Mechanical keyboard.
Well, thanks, Scott.
You are welcome. All right, that's going to do it for this episode of the podcast.
Thanks for listening.
We appreciate it. If you guys have any questions, feedback, concerns, comments, anything, shoot us an email at podcast@AndroidGuys.com. We'd love to hear from you one way or the other. Luke, if someone wants to get a hold of you, how do they do that?
I am on Instagram and Twitter at Luke Gaul, Gaul.
And I'm on Instagram at Scott Webster and Twitter as SWebster77. Until next time, thanks for listening.
See ya.